Rock and Roll Geek Show 1185.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is January 1st, 2023. Happy New Year, friends. I'm going to open up this first drink of the day. It is actually 11:50 a.m. It's 10 minutes, technically 10 minutes too early to drink, but I'm up here in the mountain house by myself. Well, me and three dogs, the three of the adult dogs. My wife's home with the two puppies. She's going over to Calaveras County on Wednesday to pick up two more puppies. We're not keeping them. We're only keeping one of these four puppies, but we have to watch three of them. Two of them that she's going to pick up are the co-owner of Mila, the mother of these puppies, is going on a hunt in Arizona. So somebody has to watch the puppies. So my wife is going to pick them up and bring them back to the house. And then she's going in for some kind of a surgery, minor surgery on Friday. And so I have to be available to watch 7 dogs on Friday. So I'm coming back from the mountain house on Wednesday. Actually, I'm coming back on Tuesday. Wednesday, she's going to get the other two puppies. One of the dogs that's with us is going to be going to Germany in January, sometime this month. So, and then we're hopefully only going to have one puppy. These things are a lot of work, and I am going crazy. I had to get out of town, and I had to bring the adults with me because they were going crazy as well. So it's me and 3 dogs enjoying the cold, damp weather up here in the mountain house. I found some mushrooms yesterday, some bluet mushrooms. I ate them. Did have a little bit of stomach issues this morning. I don't know if it was because I ate too much of that $1,000 ice cream maker ice cream last night or the bluet mushrooms, but did have a little bit of stomach issues, but I'm feeling better now, and I'm going to open up the first Tecate of the day. First Tecate of the year! You know what they say about the first Tecate, the first beer of the year, friends. It's always the best, even if it's in the morning. So the time has finally come, and I got to tell you, this was extremely difficult for me. The top 10 albums of 2022. Man, I had a tough time. Here's my process of going through this whole thing. First of all, I put it off too long. I had some albums in my head, but I did not have anything written down. I lost all of the track by track scores that I had on the envelopes, credit card payments that I never pay, stacked up. I lost those because when I moved over to Don's, they all got tossed in the trash. So I forgot what I had. So what I did was I made a note in Apple Notes of every album that I own or that I have in my iTunes from 2022. So I wrote them all down, and then I listened. Starting 2 days ago, I listened to every single one of those albums on my list of albums that I own. Should I go down this list of albums that I own? There's a lot of them. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, about 40 albums that I have that came out in 2022. That's a lot of albums, man. And there's even more that came out that I don't have. A lot of people have on, there's a pinned thread on Rock and Roll Geek Show Facebook group, which I did not create, but I do appreciate. We just got to answer 2 questions. I know you're not trying to rig this list. There's a pinned thread up here that was posted by Chris Capel. And wasn't Chris Capel? No, Christopher Del Grande. I think he posted this. Pull it up here and see who did this. Yeah, Chris Del Grande, top albums of 2022. And there's a whole bunch of people commented with their lists. And there's a bunch of bands on their lists that I don't even know about, that I hadn't even heard of. So there's a lot of albums that came out this year. So I did the best I could. It was extremely difficult. I could not narrow it down to 10. So there's some ties in here. And feel free to send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, telling me that my list blows ass, and just put that in the subject line. Send it to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Butler, your list blows ass. All right. Let's just get right into it, friends. Coming in at number 10 of the 2022 Rock and Roll Geek albums of 2022, according to your friend Michael Butler. It's actually a tie for number 10. It's a three-way tie for number 10. Coming in at number 10, tied. I didn't even know Bryan Adams had a new album out until about a week ago, and I went and grabbed it because I love Bryan Adams. This album is called So Happy It Hurts. He also put out a soundtrack to the Broadway show of what's that movie that woman had about being a prostitute? Julia Roberts movie, Pretty Woman. Is that what it's called? Yeah, he wrote the soundtrack to that as well. And I didn't really love that album. I got that a long time ago, and it wasn't that great. But this one has some decent songs on it, so it barely squeaked in the top 10 of 2022 of your friend Michael Butler, the Rock and Roll Geek Top 10. Do I have a jingle for it? No, I should have asked, but I don't. It's Butler's Top 10 of 2022. Let me see if I can find something here. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's see. How about I'm looking for things that I have in this Rodecaster Pro. I don't have anything good, so fuck it. No, now I'm hosed here. Okay. Forget it. It's Butler's 2010 Top 10 2022. Okay. Bryan Adams. This song is called I Ain't Worth Shit Without You. The album is called So Happy It Hurts.
I can't eat, I can't sleep, still wearing the same clothes I wore last week. I look around, but I only got me to blame. Ain't made the bed since you last slept in it. Ain't showered or shaved, but any minute I'll be kicking butt. I'll be back on my feet again. 'Cause there's a home where my heart used to be. You know I'd take you back if you take me. One thing I know to be true, I ain't worth shit without you.
Bryan Adams' album is called So Happy It Hurts. That's I Ain't Shit Without You. That's a good song, and there's a few more good songs on that album as well. Good enough to put it barely in the top 10. The next album that is tied for number 10, Earl Inf and Mike Cranston. I believe both these guys have this on their list. This is Hardcore Superstar. Their album is called Abracadabra, and I listened to that when I was walking the dogs. I thought it would be higher on my list, and when I was listening to you know how long it takes to listen to 40 albums or 50 albums start to finish? A long time. But when I was listening to this, I found myself fast forwarding through a lot of the songs, but there are some songs that make it good enough to be in the top 10, and this is one of them. This is called Weep When You Die. Hardcore Superstar, Abracadabra. Tied, a three-way tie at number 10. There you go. That's a good song. But there's not maybe 4 or 5 decent songs on that album. Also tied at number 10. Listen, I know that putting a bunch of ties would not meet Eddie Trunk's criteria for being on the list. But first of all, it's my show. And here's my criteria, okay? Well, ties are okay with me because I just could not narrow it down to 10. And it seems like from all the posts on the Rock and Roll Geek Show Facebook group, a lot of people had a lot of trouble narrowing it down to 10 because there's so many albums came out this year. My criteria, it can't be an EP. It has to be a full length. It can't be an album of covers. It can't be a live album. So it needs to be an album that came out this year and it needs to be full length or over 30 minutes, and it needs to be, for the most part, an album of originals. All right, so that's my criteria, and it's my show, and I can do what the hell I want, so I have a 3-way tie for 10. Massive Wagons, the only other person who has this, well, there's a couple of people have this on their list. Alex Oliver didn't make a list, but he mentioned this album. And Jesse, I think Jesse Dinos also has this on his list. Let me see here. Jesse Dinos. Yeah, Jesse Dinos has it on his, and I don't know if any other people do. Their last album, House of Noise, was fucking great. This album has some decent songs on it, but veers a little off into the AOR territory for me. Yeah, a little bit light or melodic rock, lighter melodic rock. It's got some heavy shit. That's not, I take that back. It's got stuff that's more like Autograph. It's not light, but there's stuff that's similar to Autograph and that kind of band, which nothing against them. There's some decent songs on this album. It's good enough to be in my top 10, tied for 3-way tie. If I couldn't do a tie of those 3, I don't know. Probably none of them would be on it. So, all right, this song I'm going to play from Massive Wagons, the album is called Triggered. ASSHOLE. Asshole. Massive Wagons. Take it away, producer.
Some specimens in my time, they're out there, that's fine. I met people who were bloody delightful, but not you, you were an asshole. We hate bullies, don't think anyone likes them. A Slusher, you qualify. My dad would say you need a clip round the hero. You're not a narcissistic, egotistic psychosis, or a grandiose, arrogant symptosis. You, yeah, you. Quiet and save face. You're in charge, Lieutenant Commander. News just in, you're a bit of a wanker. I meet assholes on a daily basis. I've met loads, you're number one. I thought I'd write a little song in your honor. Guess what, you're not a bothersome, pestiferous ring piece, or a megalomaniac, obnoxious feces. You, yeah, you're an asshole. Once we'd eaten our own body weight in fine dining, we left the hideout and hit the streets hard in search of the deadly coronavirus. It didn't take us long before we followed the beast into a nearby strip bar. We battled the vicious creature for nearly 15 hours, forced to engage in a series of deadly drinking games. But it wasn't long before he pissed his jeans, and the day was won. Hurrah! Back to the bus for a celebratory beer. A-S-S-H-O-L-E. Asshole! A-S-S-H-O-L-E. Asshole! A-S-S-H-O-L-E. Asshole! A-S-S-H-O-L-E.
There you go. There's my number 10, three-way tie. All right, before we get to number 9, I should thank some people who donated to the show. As you know, it was my birthday last week on Christmas Eve, and I had a great Christmas. Martina and her family came over into San Francisco and stayed at the at Brian's place on where I used to live. And my stepdad came and stayed with us, and we had a really good time. It was good seeing family. I should have been spending time working on my top 10, but I was spending all the time with the family. So I apologize, but thank you everybody who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, especially the birthday donations. Let me find some music to play in the background. I'm going to do some honorable mentions. How about that? Albums that I considered, but did not quite make it. I put a playlist together for honorable mentions, and I should have put Megadeth's new album in there for honorable mentions. So I'm going to mention Megadeth. That could have been in my top 10, but I honestly, in full disclosure, I totally forgot about Megadeth. So I could have been in the top 10. Here's some honorable mentions. Let's just play a little bit of some little pieces of honorable mentions. Warrior Soul had a new album out called Out on Bail. Fast forward to get into the music here. Thank you to everybody who gave me the birthday donations. Tim Schall, $100. Stay frosty, my friend. I hope you have a great Christmas, and thanks for bringing so much goodness to my life. That made my day, Tim Schall, when you sent me that note. $100 from Tim Schall. Shinbone Star, $100 birthday donation. Come on. This is why Warrior Soul did not make it on the list. A little bit of Phil. Let's get it here, okay. Shinbone Star, $100. Thank you, Shinbone Star. I think the great Corey, what's his name? What's the singer for Warrior Soul's name? Corey Clark. National treasure, Corey Clark. I think he's losing his voice. But something about Warrior Soul that I really like, and Corey Clark. Thank you, Shinbone Star, for the $100. Thank you, good friend Michael Street, for the $61 birthday donation. I was 61. Kirk Crawford, $61 birthday donation. Thank you, Kirk. Robert Giglio, $50 birthday donation. Or just a $50 donation. I think it could be birthday. Or Christmas donation. Thank you, Robert Giglio, for the $50. Who else do I have on this honorable mention? Enough's Enough has a new album, Finer Than Sin. Not good enough to be in the top 10, but it's got some moments. The Butlers are opening for Enough's Enough in San Francisco sometime soon, at the bottom of the hill. It's just a number that you can't reach. Thank you, Kirk Crawford, $50 again. Kirk Crawford saves the show every month with the music he sends me, large donations, and just being an all-around fantastic human being. Thank you, Kirk Crawford. Greg Brofer, another fantastic human being, a $20 birthday donation. I'm praying for him every night. Well, I'm not going to say what I'm praying for, but I'm praying. Vincent Creamy, $20 birthday donation. Thank you, Vincent. Mark Bridges, $20 birthday donation. And here's the regular donations. Douglas Free, $20. Thank you, Douglas. Take a sip of this fine Tecate while I'm listening to Enough's Enough. Thank you, Richard Strom, $20. Dave Franco, $20. Greg Brofer, another $20. How about Ugly Kid Joe made the honorable mentions? Jeff and Sherry Thielelicky, $10. Dave Jackson in the School of Podcasting, $10. Todd Cunningham, $10. James Shepard, $10. BJ Lisco, $10. His band made honorable mentions. Where are they? This is a little bit of Ugly Kid Joe first. Who would have known Ugly Kid Joe had an album worth listening to? Gav McConaughey I think it's his last name. The guy who used to manage Ginger, manages Ugly Kid Joe now, I think. And the guy, I think the bass player might be one of the guys from Hey Hello. BJ Lisco, his band Turbo Lovers made it on the honorable mentions. Letting It Fly. Barely missed the top 10, BJ. I really like this album. BJ Lisco, $10. James Venner's $10. Blake Johnson, $10. Richard Fusey, $9.99. I'm coughing. Pardon me, Richie. Richie Fusey. Jennifer Wilbrecht, $5. Benjamin Muller, $5. C&H Thornton Enterprises. Shell Company, $5. Eric Lentz, $5. Eric Lentz, $5. Greg Long, $5. Andrew Howe, $5. Dale Roller, $5. Who else made the list? Donovan, I had to put that on the honorable mentions because I just love Donovan so much. Even though the album's not really rock, but this song I love.
With the wind blowing in her hair.
Brett Garsky, $5. John Offenlach, $5. Jace Lesniewski, $5. Christopher Del Grande, $5. And the guy who put this list together for the Facebook group, Adam Brachet, $2.
At the lovely moon over.
Kai Matsuda, $2. Stephen Mascord, $2. Vincent Crimmy, $2. Deborah Dreyfus, $2. Philip Vermeulen, $2. Brian Gradich, $2. Chad Kiffmeyer, $2. Dave Alexander, $2. And finally on the PayPal, William Moffat, $2. All right, let's go through, before I get into the second half of the donation, the Patreon list, let's go through everybody else who honorable mention. Liar Thief Bandit has a new album, in it, or it's not a full-length album, which is why it didn't make the list, but I want to give it an honorable mention because it's got some great tunes on it. The album is called the EP is called Diamonds. It's barely short of an album. It's only like 7 songs on it, I think. It's Liar Thief Bandit. The Subteens, I did not have enough time to sit with the Subteens, but I like it enough to put it as an honorable mentions. The album is called Volume 4, Dashed Hopes and Good Intentions. And thank you to the person who sent me this. And I think is it Mike Cranston who sent me this? I'm not positive. If I got your name wrong, I apologize. My brain is fried right now. I'm 61 years old. The senility is starting to kick in. An album that just came out this year, but that was recorded about, I'm going to say probably in the early 90s when Bob Stinson got fired from The Replacements. He put out a band called The Bleeding Hearts, and they recorded this album, and it just came out this year. So I put that in the honorable mentions. The album is called Rags to Riches. Very Replacement sounding, and I like it. But as a whole, the album is not worthy of the top 10. And it might not be really eligible, being that it was recorded so long ago. All right, let's go through the Patreon list. Joe Pawlak, My Bodyguard, $16.16. Dan Gerawan, $15. Tim Schall, $15. Kirk Crawford saved the show again with a $12.77 donation. Fred and Ginny Bunke, $10. Joseph Coyne, $10. Michael Street, my good friend and friend of the show, who has a great top 10 list. What is his? Let's see if I can find his top 10 list since I'm on Michael Street. Michael Street. There's a lot of posts on this thread. So here's Michael Street. Number 1, De Paradas, Ty Tabor, Tuck Smith, Urge Overkill, which I have not heard the Urge Overkill. I wish somebody would have sent me that. That could have been on my list too. I didn't even hear it. Diamond Dog, Slap Bang Blue Rendezvous. That's on the list of songs of albums that came out. Is it on my list this year? We will find out. Jizzy Pearl, Michael Monroe, Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs, Spot McCracken, New Tricks. A lot of people had that on theirs. Enough's Enough. The Chefs. I forgot about that album. I should have gone back and listened to that. I just had to put this thing together. It was getting too late. Space Panther, who I don't know. Joe Lynn Turner, I don't have that album. Ugly Kid Joe, he's on his list. Skid Row, the gang's all here. Reef Generation Radio, Torpedo Head, that's an EP, it's not eligible, or else it would have been on my list. And Ryan Adams and the Dead Daisies. Thank you, Ryan Adams, for not donating to the show, but thank you, Michael Street, for donating $7.50 and my birthday donation. My podcast mentor, Dave Slusher, $5.55. All right, Nazareth was also worthy of honorable mention. Album's not good enough to make the list. I would have put it below a lot of these bands, but I admire them for still putting out music, so that's why they get an honorable mention. And now a band called Sweet Poison, and a band called The New Roses. I didn't have enough time to listen to this one. Could have been in the top 10. Here's a little bit of a little bit of New Roses. Sweet Poison, the album. Where am I on this list here? Dave Slusher, $5.55. Brad Schultz, $5. Brad Shick, $5. Brian Springer, $5. My good friend Chiaki Hinohara, who we all went out to dinner with my daughter on Monday of last week. Had a great time. Got pretty drunk. Dan McBride, $5. Chiaki Hinohara, $5. Thank you, Chiaki. Happy New Year, friend. I love you, brother. Dan McBride, I love you, brother, $5. Danny Borden, shitty dude, $5 donation. $5 shitty dude donation. Happy New Year, Danny. I miss you, friend. Erik Klein, $5. Grant Farquhar, $5. Hava FX, $5. James Shapiro, $5. Jamie Jefford, $5. John Scott, $5. Maker of Tom Petty and Me, The Great Book. John Scott, $5. Justin Lefkowitz, $5. Martin Clawley, $5. Michael Brown, $5. Nadi Itani, $5. Paul Smith, $5. Robert Harvey, $5. Steve Trice, $5. Ted Wilbrecht, $5. Mike Hellyer, £4. Mike Dixon, $3. Chad Burns, $2.50. Paul Roub, $2.25. Adrian Bosch on Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. I didn't create it, but I do appreciate people. You just got to answer 2 questions so that you're not one of these people who's going to tell me that a blewit mushroom is good to eat when it's really poisonous and gives you diarrhea. Chad Burns, $2.50. Paul Roub, oh, wait a minute, where am I? Adrian Bosch on $2. Amy Bowen, $2. Bruce McMillan, $2. Eric Stowell, $2. Patrick Shanahan, $2. Paul Underwood, maker of Underwood's Fine Barbecue Sauce, $2. Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe, $1.42. 3 Legs, 4 Wheels, $1. Arnie Stash, $1. Corey Kohler, $1. John Richardson and Mark Mazzei, all $1. Thank you, everybody who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. This is a value for value, so any value that you get out of this show, I ask that you please contribute that to your friend Michael Butler. You know, when I retire next year, I'm going to hopefully be just depending on the Rock and Roll Geek Show and Social Security to support me. So, going to need some donations, friend, if I'm around, if this show is around when I retire. Hopefully it will be. One more honorable mention. Not a rock and roll album, which is why it's not in the top 10, but I got to give props to my friend MC Conky Tonk. Thank you, everybody who donated to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I take us into this fine Tecate to you, friend. First one of the year.
Conquering Uranus. Conquering Uranus. Conquering Uranus.
And happy New Year, Casey. I miss you too, friend. Casey came by on Christmas night and to Don's house. We hung out for a few minutes.
You know it should be famous, and I love to land my rocket on the surface of the crater, and I take my time when
all right, kill it! Okay. All right, back to Conquering Uranus. Space Case, name of the album. Worthy of an honorable mention for sure, at the very least. All right, back to the top 10 of 2022. We're at number 9 now. I haven't had enough time to sit with this album either. Rockets, this was sent to me last week. I think could have been, I want to say Kirk Crawford sent this to me, but I could be wrong. Good enough to make it in the top 10 at number 9, the Rockets. This album is called Break Free.
About me than you know of rock and roll. That smile on your face hiding the thorns, the hollow shell. But I can see through the lies of the wasted times we shared. Never asked for nothing, never wanted to know. With your weekend ways can never tell who's leading the show. Listen the hard way, carry on, come what may. About time for you to stand up on the ground. Head on and pick up the pieces from the lost and found. Ready to crash and burn one more time for the road. The only resilience you ever showed. Too many times have you put down. Too many times make me kiss the ground. Learn the lesson the hard way. Not a single word left to say. Too many times have you put me down. Too many times make me kiss the ground. Learn the lesson the hard way. Got nothing more left to say. Never asked for nothing, never wanted to know. Hey, old timer, who you looking for? You know less about me than you know of rock and roll. That smile on your face hiding the void, the hollow shell. But I can see through the lies of the wasted times we shared. Never asked for nothing, never wanted to know. With your wicked ways can never tell who's leading the show. Best kept secret like a living hell. Waited too long for something you'd never tell. Waited too long for something you'd never tell.
There you go. Rockets. The album is called Break Free. That was Best Kept Secret. They're from Finland. There's a few other people who have them on their list, but this list is so long. I'm looking at the Facebook post here, so I'm a little bit distracted, but a guy named Michael Ferguson, who I don't know, he might be a new Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group member. Welcome, Michael Ferguson, if you are. He has Off, Free LSD is number 3 on his list. I didn't know Off had a new album. Fuck. Could somebody not send me that? See, this would have been, if I would have known all these bands have more albums, it would have been even more difficult to put this list together. This was a really fucking hard time for me, man. There's so much music. He's also got Megadeth, Sick, Dying, and the Dead on his list, and the Helicopter's Eyes of Oblivion. A lot of people had Ghost on their list. I'm not down with the Ghost, as you know, but a lot of people like them, so that should say something about what I know. Also, a lot of people had Dead Daisies on their list. Larry Burke had Aerosmith, The Road Starts Here on their list. And I don't consider that a full length. I think that's an EP, and it came out songs from a long time ago. But it was just released, and that album, that EP or whatever it is, that's great recording. Saxon, he has Carp Diem. I didn't have that on my list either. See, I forgot about so many. He's got Ozzy, Patient Number 9, Larry Burke. That wouldn't have been on my top list, that's for sure. But I know a lot of people had, or a couple of people had Rockets on their list, and a bunch of people had what the other band that's tied for, the other artist that's tied for number 9 on my list. Friend of the show, Sandy Hyde, his alter ego is Spot McCracken. He put out a solo album. The McCrackens didn't have an album, but the song he sent me from the McCrackens was fucking great. I don't think that album came out yet. If it did, I don't have it. Hint, hint. Sandy Hyde. But his album is called New Tricks. Spot McCracken, New Tricks. That made it to number 9, tied for number 9. It's on a bunch of people's lists. He's a friend of the show, so and he's a prolific poster and commenter on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. So a lot of people have him on their list, and I do too. The songs are great. The album is called New Tricks, tied for number 9 on the Rock and Roll Geek Top 10 of 2022. This song is called Liliana.
Hold on and give me a second. I haven't even told you about my band. You gotta stop for miles and miles, but baby, I don't think you understand. 'Cause now you walk so fast, Leanna, and I don't think that you know how that feels. And now you talk so fast, Leanna. I guess it's easier 'cause nothing here is real. I'm trying to figure out what's this all about. Time that you gave me a clue. I don't know anything, but baby, I'm all in this just for you. 'Cause now you walk so fast, Leanna, and I don't think that you know how that feels. And now you talk so fast, Leanna. I guess it's easier 'cause nothing here is real. I won't let this moment pass. I'm on the trail and I'm coming back. 'Cause I won't let this moment pass tonight. I know you've seen it all before. The desperate eyes before you're out the door. And I'm on the floor with 5 bucks more and I'm still losing my mind. Now you walk so fast, Leanna, and I don't think that you know how that feels. And now you talk so fast, Leanna. I guess it's easier 'cause nothing here is real. Now you walk so fast, Leanna, and I don't think that you know how that feels. And now you talk so fast, Leanna. I guess it's easier 'cause nothing here is real.
There you go. Spot McCracken. Number 9. All right, we're up to number... Stop. Producer, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself, friend. We're at number 8 now. This one sits alone at number 8. A few other people have this on their list. This is Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners. Excuse me, I'm choking on this. Choking on something. Let me wash it down with a fine Takata here. Bosch Rock has this on his list. I believe Michael Street has this on his list. Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners. Decent album. It's not Ginger's best, but I like it. And this song is not Ginger singing, but I like this song a lot. It is called Footprints in the Sand. Sitting alone at number 8 on my top 10 of 2022. Footprints in the Sand.
When I was born, I was no believer. Never been hurt, wouldn't know a lie. When I was born, Mama gave me two things: a warm heart and an open mind. When I got older, nights got longer. I got strong and I held my ground. Woke on the wrong side of every sunrise. I found the dark side of every town. I still hear her voice in times of trouble. When there was only one pair of footprints in the sand. So when you find yourself climbing out of the rubble, remember there was only you. To hold your I work hard just to raise my family. I got a mortgage and bills to pay. Life is as tough as it ever could be, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I still hear her voice in times of trouble. When there was only one pair of footprints in the sand. So when you find yourself climbing out of the rubble, remember there was only you. To hold your Now as I sit here looking backward, no regrets for the things I've done. Well, I got love and I've still got anger, and I'm okay with the man I've become. I still hear her voice in times of trouble. When there was only one pair of footprints in the sand. So when you find yourself climbing out of the rubble, remember there was only you. To hold your hand. To hold your hand. To hold your hand. To hold your
There you go. Ginger Wildheart and the Sinners. Footprints in the Sand. That's a nice song. David Schall had this on his list. Boschrock had this on his list. Would Boschrock have it on? Mike Cranston had it at number 7. I had it at number 8. Boschrock, Earl Inf has this on his list. I'm not sure if Boschrock has this on his list or not. What is he? Yes, he does. Adrian Boschon also. He has Wolfsbane on his list too, and Marillion. I don't have either of those albums. Summerlands. A lot of people have Summerlands on their list, and I know nothing about that band. He's also got Tony Wright, Hellas, Smith and Wasson. I don't know any of these bands. Acid Witch, Absolva, Blind Guardian, Midnight Dark Throne, Porcupine Tree, and yeah, I got a feeling a lot of that's prog. All right, so I'm up to number 7 now. We're moving through this thing. This is a tie for number 7, a two-way tie. Lars Lunova, didn't Lars leave the comment about the Black Crowes? He put his top 10 list, and it's not on this thread, but this band, Goodbye June, is in his top 10 list, and I think Todd Cunningham did not you send me this because that would have been wrong. And I was been listening to this album, and I've been listening to it more than once. This album is really good. The singer sounds a lot like Bon Scott, but these songs are great. Goodbye June. The album is called See Where the Night Goes. Tied for number 7, my top 10 of 2022. Everlasting Love by Goodbye June.
Girl, where you going? I seen you here twice before. The world, it keeps on rolling, and I never had a place to
Man, that's good.
go. Baby, I can't shake you. In my head stuck like a song. Your melodies, your words, the bees and the birds were humming to it all night long. I've been waiting for so long. You came running right into my arms. Everlasting love, always lifting me up. Everlasting love, never can get me enough. Lady, it's no illusion. It's not from a mystical land. This love is a solid foundation, and I'm happy right where I stand. Oh, I've been waiting for so long. You came running right into my arms. Can you be my lover? Can you be true? Never find another man as fine as you. Yeah. Everlasting love, always lifting me up. Everlasting love, never can get me enough. Everlasting love, always lifting me up. Everlasting love, never can get me enough. Never can get me I've been waiting for so long. You came running. Can you be my lover? Can you be true? Never find another. None as fine as you. My everlasting love, always lifting me up. Everlasting love, never can get me enough. My everlasting love, always lifting me up. Everlasting love, never can get me enough.
There you go. Goodbye June. That song is fucking catchy as hell, man. All right. Also tied at number 7. Man, it's so hard. I wish I didn't have all these ties, but there's so many, I'm going to try to stop saying fucking. There's so many good albums. It's so hard to narrow it down, but tied for number 7 with Goodbye June. I almost forgot to put them on my list. I was looking down on my list here and I said, oh, wait, they're not on my list. Band that a lot of people have on here. I think Kirk Crawford has them. Does Kirk Crawford have this band? Yes, he does. He has Ravagers on the list. Tied for number 7 is Ravagers' album Badlands, produced by Tuck Smith. Several people have Ravagers on the list. I'm glad I didn't forget to put them on. I almost did, but this album is good. I missed them when they were in town because I wanted to go up to the Mountain House when it was snowing, and so I missed them, but hopefully they'll come back. This album is called Badlands, and here's Ravagers. This is Down That Road. Tied for number 7.
The clouds he never washed away.
There you go. Ravagers. You know what? I forgot to put the fucking helicopters on here too. They got to be tied for number 7. All right. We got a 3-way tie for number 7. All right. Helicopters. Eyes of Oblivion. Helicopters tied for number 7. There you go. Helicopters. I'm glad I was looking at the thread, because I was looking at Kirk Crawford's list, and he had this at the top of his list, and I almost forgot. What makes that album for me, it's not their best album. By the Grace of God is just untouchable for the Helicopters for me. But what makes that album for me is Dragon's guitar playing. He's ripping guitar throughout that album. Also, I believe somebody else had this on their list too. Blake Johnson had it on his list as well. A couple other people, I think. Yeah, decent album, and always happy to hear Helicopters and Imperial State Electric too. Usually they make the top 10. Almost forgot to put him in. I don't know what people would have chastised me for that. All right, we're at number 6 now. We're also some more ties at number 6. I think we got a 2-way tie for number 6. JB from Colorado, JB Skulls, sent me 3 of these vinyls, and I listened to, when I was coming up here, I listened to this album from the Vandaliers called, it's self-titled, but it came out this year. This album is great. Most of it is not rock. It's kind of Americana, it's a little bit bluegrass, a little bit, it's kind of like Lucero, which I love Lucero, and this album is really, really good. The album is called The Vandaliers. The song is called Every Saturday Night. Tied for number 6, The Vandaliers.
Granted every Saturday night. with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. I miss the taste of whiskey, and I miss the smell of smoke. I miss the last calls at the dance halls. I miss the last songs before they close. Used to sing along the turnpike, heading down an FM road. I always took the long way. The sun rose before we got home. I took for granted every Saturday night with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. Tailgate down around a bonfire, half a moonshine in a jar. You laid your head on my shoulder. We kissed beneath the Texas stars. I took for granted every Saturday night with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. I took for granted every Saturday night with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. I should have sang a little louder. I should have stayed a little longer, I suppose. I should have told you I loved you. I was young, darling, I didn't know. I took for granted every Saturday night with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. I took for granted every Saturday night with my rowdy friends and the love of my life. We should have danced till they turned out the lights. I took for granted every Saturday night. 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 I took for granted every Saturday night.
There you go, Vandaliers. Thank you, JB, for turning me on to that band. If you don't have that album, you should check it out. It's really good. Somebody else has this on their list too. Thanks to JB. Where's my Facebook here? Chad Burns has it on his list at number 6 as well. I'm also tied at number 6. Fast Eddie, Spaghetti Town Records. I was listening to this album today. This album is strong from top to bottom. Again, also produced by Tuck Smith. Tied for number 6. The album is called Take a Look from Fast Eddie. This song is called Milwaukee.
I've been tired of waiting so long to bring the party home tonight. I said
There you go, Fast Eddie. I love that line. I left my heart in Milwaukee and I want it back. If you don't have that album, if you like that kind of music, you know, catchy, simple pop songs like that, get that album. It's worth listening to. I like it. All right, we're at number 5 now. I got more ties. Hey, I'm not going to apologize for having the ties because it just gives me an excuse to play more good music. All right, we're at number tie. We're at number tie on a 5. All right, we're at number 5. We have a 3-way tie for number 5. Well, no. We got a 2-way tie for number 5. This band is from, I believe they're from Sweden. They're called Cruel Intentions. Venomous Anonymous. The singer, the 2 bands that are tied for number 5, the only thing that sets these 2 bands back a little bit for me is the quality of the vocals. Both have distinctive voices. You know who this is when you hear them singing. But the voices can get a little bit grating after a while, but album's good. Album's really good. I mean, really, really good. This is the Cruel Intentions. The album is called Venomous Anonymous. This song is called Kerosene. Tied for number 5. Man, that is a fucking rock and roll anthem right there, man. Whew. Jesse Denos has it in his top 10. Kirk Crawford has it in the top 10. A lot of people do. I think Michael Ferguson. No, Michael Ferguson doesn't, but a lot of people have that in the top 10. I would say probably half the people on this list or in the group on that thread have it in their top 10. Cruel Intentions, Venomous Anonymous. All right, also tied in keeping with the vocals being distinctive, but can get a little bit grating at times, but great songs. I had Billy Hopeless on the show not too long ago. This is the Black Halos. Now, I told him that that the Black Halos album was better than Michael Monroe's album. Okay, well, I haven't had Michael Monroe's album come up on the list yet, but here is the Black Halos, tied for number 5. The album is called How the Darkness Doubled. This is Better Days. There you go. That's a Rich Jones song. Rich Jones wrote all the music on, except for the covers, I believe, on that album from the Black Halos. And he also wrote all the music except for, I think, one song on that new Michael Monroe album. Michael Monroe made it to number 4. Just beat out Black Halos because of the vocals. The songs are all great on both of those albums. Michael Monroe's album is called I Live Too Fast to Die Young. This song is called, this is also a tie, number 4. We got a tie. Well, the other band I'll talk about in a minute that's tied for 4, they could have been way higher, but I put them tied at number 4 because I wanted to have. Well, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. This is Michael Monroe, number 4. The album is called "I Live Too Fast to Die Young." Almost on almost everybody's top 10 of 2022, at least on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. This song is called "Everybody's Nobody."
But you didn't want to go that far. Now your glory days have faded. You're a star at your local bar. Goodbye, Piccadilly. So long, Leicester Square. Times they're moving on, but you ain't going anywhere. And they're all coming out tonight. Everyone who's ever been nobody, and we'll all set the world to rights. For everyone who's ever been nobody, and nobody's gonna be somebody tonight. To be famous, 'cause you missed your lucky shot. Your overqualified superior status has left you here to rot. Goodbye to the Bowery. So long to Times Square. Times keep moving on, but you ain't going anywhere. And they're all coming out tonight. Everyone who's ever been nobody. And we'll all set the world to rights. For everyone who's ever been nobody. And nobody's gonna be somebody tonight. Goodbye to the Bowery. So long, Leicester Square. Times they're moving on and on and on, but you don't care. And they're all coming out tonight. Everyone who's ever been nobody. And we'll all set the world to rights. For everyone who's ever been nobody. But you don't look back when your future's bright. And I don't see your name in lights. And nobody's gonna be somebody. And nobody's gonna be somebody. And nobody's gonna be somebody tonight.
There you go, Michael Monroe. That's a great tune. Album is called "I Live Too Fast to Die Young." All right, we're at still tied at number 4. Now, this album could have very easily been higher up on the list for this reason. This album is a double album. It's like 24 or 25 songs, something like 24 songs on this album. And every song's good. I mean, every song is at least a strong half. There's not a clunker on this album. The band is called Diamond Dogs. They're from Sweden, I believe. The album is called Slap Bang Blue Rendezvous. If you like this song, get the album, because the rest of the album is just as good as this song, in my opinion. I had to put it at number 4. It could have easily been number 3, number 2, or number 1. Only reason I put it at number 4 is because I didn't want to have number 1 and 2 to be ties. But everything from number 1, 2, 3, and 4 could have been my favorite album of the year. So it's a toss up at this point. In all honesty, although I'd say something about the top one when I get to it. All right, it's Diamond Dogs, Slap Bang Blue Rendezvous. This song is called What If I Knock? Now I'm going to go stand on the balcony and relieve beer number 2 of the year.
Told you that you've been waiting for someone like me to enter your door. I'll be your guiding light in the darkness. So come take my hand, I'll get you on board. But what if I knock, will you open that door? What if I beg, will you give me some more? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I look too deep down in your eyes? What if I saw behind the disguise? What if I knock, would it be alright? Yeah! So give me a try, I know that you want to. It's about time you get your share. Don't make me turn around without you. 'Cause I can't take you anywhere. But what if I knock, will you open that door? What if I beg, will you give me some more? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I look too deep down in your eyes? What if I saw behind the disguise? What if I knock, would it be alright? Yeah! Hear me out. Knock, knock, can you hear me, baby? I'm banging my head to the wall. Knock, knock, can you hear me, baby? You smashed up my heart and my soul. But what if I knock, will you open that door? What if I beg, will you give me some more? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I look too deep down in your eyes? What if I saw behind the disguise? What if I knock, would it be alright? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I beg, will you give me some more? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I knock, will you open that door? What if I knock, will you open that door?
There you go. Diamond Dogs. I don't know how well known they are in Sweden, but when I was working at Pod Show doing the Pod Save Music Network, I got them on the Pod Save Music Network, and I don't know how big they are there. I would imagine they're probably virtually unknown in the United States, with the exception of a few people with discerning tastes in music. But you got to respect a band that is not very well known that puts out a double album, putting out an album with 24 songs on it, and they're all great. They're all decent songs. I got to respect it anyway. I don't know if you do, but kudos to Diamond Dogs. All right, we're at number 3 now. Oh, I just got a notification, by the way, from Richard Fusey. I just got a notification on my phone that said, Richard Fusey just sent a $50 birthday donation. So thank you, Richard Fusey. I really appreciate it, friend. What's his list this year? Let's see if we can find it here. Richard Fusey has a little bit different wheelhouse than Michael Butler, but Richard Fusey is still Michael Butler's very good friend. Let me find Richard Fusey. Richard Fusey. There's a long thread here. Okay, his top 10. Black Swan, Shake the World. That's Macaulay. What's that? Macaulay, the guy, Dave Macaulay. What's the guy's name? It's from Macaulay Schenker Group. Anyway, it's his band, Black Swan. Scorpions, Rock Believer. That album's not great to me, although I enjoyed them in concert. Ty Tabor, that's the guy from King's X. King's X album did not make my list, and I have not heard the Ty Tabor album. Megadeth, Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. I probably could have put it on my list. Disturbed, Divisive. I'm not a Disturbed fan. Skid Row, The Gangs Will Hear. Have not heard it, but I'm not a big Skid Row guy. GATC, don't know who that is. Dead Daisies. I tried to listen to that Dead Daisies album. It just doesn't do it for me. Again, a lot of people had it on their list, so they must know something that I don't know. But we do share this one. This is his number 1 album of 2022. This made a tie for number 3 with me. Could have been easily number 1. Everything from here on to number 1 could have been number 1 for me. This is, of course, the great Thunder Mother. The album is called Black and Gold, and I just picked a song random because every song on the album is good. As you know, I gave it a 13 out of 13, and there's only 12 songs on the album, so it must be good. This is Black and Gold from Thunder Mother.
I always knew what I wanted. I always dreamed big.
There you go. That song is great and it's rocking. All right, tied for number 3. Oh, wait a minute. No. Whoa. Stop, producer. You're getting ahead of yourself, man. Jeez. All right, so we're at number. So that was number 3. Okay, we also a tie for number 3. Could have been number 1 just as easily. Almost. I'm gonna say probably. I would say 70% of the people on the Rock and Roll Geek on this thread had this band in their top, probably in their top 5. Kirk Crawford had it. Michael Street had it. Probably Jesse Denos had it. Boschrock did not have it. Michael Ferguson didn't have it. I think Michael Cranston had it. Larry Burke, no. I'm not going to name everybody's on the list, but I'm trying to give everybody props for posting on this thread. Thank you to everybody who did, by the way. If I didn't mention your name, send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com with the subject line, Butler, you're an asshole for not saying my name. All right, we're at number 3, tied for number 3. Could have been number 1, just as easy. What I like about this band, I don't know. Only person I know in the band is Warner Hodges, who's a fucking great guitar player. But all the songs in this album are great tunes. There's nothing specially original about the music, but this singer, I love his voice, and his lyrics are great lyrics. They're angry, they're sarcastic, they're condescending to the person he's writing them about, they're clever, and I just love the guy. I don't even know his name, but I love the guy. Of course, this is De Parada's. If you don't have this album, you probably do, but if you don't have it, go out and get it, friends. The album is called, I think it's just called De Parada's. It could be, the album could be called FU, I don't know, but this song is called Girl Song from De Parada's. Tied for number 3, 2022.
Some poser from the east side.
There you go, De Paradas. That album, stop. That album is full of attitude, rawness. Great album. Could have been my number one. It just is, I like it. Like I said, everything from Diamond Dogs up could have been number one. All right, that brings us to number two, though. Now a friend of the show and a friend of yours and mine. Super Great couldn't be better. As you know, and just about everybody has Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts on their list. I would say probably 90% of the people. Ballad of a Misfit Youth is the name of the album. Of course, Eddie Trunk discovered him, as you know. But yeah, here's Tuck Smith coming in at number two. Girls on the East Side of Town. Could have picked any song from this album. The album's great, top to bottom.
Told you about those East Side Angels. They roam around down on Flat Shoals Avenue. A little bit wild, a little bit crazy. They'll surely play you for a fool. I know you think you got a shot in the dark, but watch out, they'll collect your heart. Don't let them get your name. They're gonna eat you alive. Yeah, I told you don't go messing around with those girls on the east side of town. Steal your heart and break your crown. Yeah, those girls on the east side of town. Well, one late night he was high as a kite. My friend Mr. Dupree got on a mess. Got tangled up with some fiery-eyed redhead. Woke up half dead in her bed. And I know you were only looking for love. And I know you thought that you were tough, but you were wrong, my man. You barely made it alive. Yeah, I told you don't go messing around with those girls on the east side of town. Steal your heart and break your crown. Yeah, those girls on the east side of town. Come on. Told you don't go messing around with those girls on the east side of town. Steal your heart and break your crown. Yeah, those girls on the east side of town. I told you don't go messing around with those girls on the east side of town.
There you go. That was number two. Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts. Album is called Ballad of a Misfit Youth. Could have been number one. But number one is so fucking, I love this so much. The only other person who has this on their list is Sandy Hyde. When I hear this out, when I hear this, any song on this album from the band that they put out, the album came out that they put out last year was even better than this one. But every song on this album, when I hear it, my fist goes in the air. I want to get in a fucking mosh pit, and believe me, I got no desire to get in no damn mosh pit at age 61. But when I'm listening to this band, something happens, man, and I start banging the head, and fist goes in the air, and I was walking the dogs listening to this album yesterday, and I was like slam dancing with fucking trees, man. Before I play it, this is the last song, so I want to thank everybody for sticking with the Rock and Roll Geek Show for 2022, and I hope you stick around 2023 as well. Let's hope the show stays going for this year. A lot can happen in between now and then. Donations could die off or whatever. By the way, thank you to everybody who donated. And again, thank you everybody for listening and for sticking with the show and for being friends of the show. Everybody who I've met that is a friend of the show has become a true friend, and they're great people, and you know who you are, friends. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you, and I hope you had a great New Year's Eve, and I hope you have a great 2023. All right, you can find this show at rockandrollgeek.com. You can find me at rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. You can find me on the Facebook R&R Geek. There's a Facebook group. Join it, friends, because there's a lot of rock knowledge on that group, way more than rock knowledge than I have. And you can also find me on the Twitter R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. If you like this list, send me an email with the subject line Butler. This is why you have the greatest podcast out there. Because you have the best taste in music. Put that in the subject line at rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Send it to me there. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com, with that in the subject line. If you disagree, put in the subject line Butler. How could you not put the mighty Dead Daisies in this list? You suck! Unsubscribed! All right, put that in the subject line. All right, brings us to number 1. The band is called The Good, The Bad, and The Zugly. Man, these guys are so fucking good. This song is called Song for a Prepper. Thanks for listening, friends. My fist is going in the air right now, and I'm going to bounce off the walls. We'll talk to you soon, friends.
Yeah!
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.